Who is on the next edition of the Chronicles of Podcast? This week
we have joining us an Academy Award winner. Yeah, baby. This man has held up the Oscar for the wonderful Beetlejuice.
Yeah.
He is Hollywood special effects makeup artist Steve LaPorte. And you say, I know that name. I'm sure he's worked on some projects I know. What projects, you ask? How about Lost? How about Beetlejuice? How about the Goonies? How about everything? Because the man has worked on everything.
Lost Boys. How about Terminator 2? Insane. The list is endless. Literally scroll through the IMDb. I was like, cool. I'm sure I'll get to the end at some point. I'm sure I'm 30 years later. I'm sure I'll get there eventually.
Pretty fucking accurate.
Yeah. And I think he wins the award for the longest answer given in the Chronicles of Podcast history.
I think so.
He took over Steve Nallen's time machine, time travel discussion, which we're not slated at all. It's fucking amazing that guests want to talk about as much as they do. It's incredible. But I think we're going to start setting a record now on who answers the longest.
It's got to be Steve LaPorte, Pierre Bohanna, or Steve Nallen. It's one of them three. It's one of them three.
But yeah, Steve was a really genuinely wonderful bloke. So nice, so lovely, very forthcoming, didn't hold back, and was just an absolute pleasure to speak to.
He really was. It's amazing, man.
It's great. But he applies some clown makeup, puts the nose on, sings, then asks things like this.
Physical comedy, humor, what makes something funny, what makes something affect an audience, all this stuff just crammed into your head. And I excelled at everything. And the thing I excelled the most at was stilt walking. So by the time I left, I was walking 10-foot stilts, which is, 10 foot from the foot to the ground is a long ways. If you fall, it's like being on the end of a stick and smacking on the ground. So you don't just jump off onto the ground. You're strapped in, you're committed, and you have a long pair of pants. So you're also exposed to a lot of danger elements.
And then he applies some makeup here, applies some makeup there, turn to the camera and say, hey, you guys, and say things like this.
When Tom Berman called me around Christmas, around the holidays, he goes, hey, he said, I can get you your film days. You think you can take a leave of absence from NBC? I go, man, I don't know. I have an agreement with them. He goes, well, I'm going to do this movie called Goonies. And I have to redo a makeup that needs to be fine-tuned, but we have to do it over the Christmas break and do the makeup tests. So when we come back in the new year, we can start filming. And, it's for Spielberg, it is for Richard Donner. And they've already started filming the makeup. It's filming the makeup, but they can only use some wide shots.
And he turns to Arnie and says, are you really going to be back? And he says, yes, bye. He's like, okay, because I'll keep doing your makeup for you. And then says things like this.
And we shot that for 2 days. But Dave was just a blast to work with. It was so much fun. And when we go back, I'm not going to tell certain things, but let's just say he gave me a good going away present to keep me up and awake and happy all the way home. Something that requires a cigarette lighter. And it wasn't a candle. So he goes, hey, this will keep you up because I know you got an early plane to catch. So we kept in touch. He even called me back later to do a mask that was on the front of his album called Eat 'em and Smile. It was a witch doctor mask.
Yeah, I know the one.
So
I didn't realize you did that.
That's right, guys. The Chronicles of Steve LaPorte out this Friday at 6 p.m. UK time.
Be there or be rectangle, like a makeup palette.
Lovely. You kept going with the theme this week, Jamie. I am so proud of you. But I think I'm going to be this week. I think I'll be hexagon.
Oh, good shape.